There is a real difference between a man who wants you and a man who wants a nurse to schedule and a wallet to open. And today, at our age, we are going to learn the 5 quiet signs that tell you exactly which one is sitting across your table. If you want honest, loving truth that treats you with the respect you have earned, take a moment and subscribe because we walk this road together. Now, let me name the quiet feeling first because I think you already know it. If you have ever felt more used than loved, then this, my dear, was made for you. After a lifetime of caring for husbands, children, sick parents, and neighbors, a woman can start to believe a very sad thing, that her only value is her usefulness, that she is wanted for what her hands can do, not for who she is. That doubt sits heavy. And today, gently, we are going to untangle it one sign at a time. So here is the first sign, and it is all about timing. A hot meal on a hard day, a small loan he promises to pay back, and then the moment his own life is steady again, the moment he is comfortable, so he grows quiet. He drifts. Real affection does not run on a schedule of his needs. Think about your phone on the kitchen table. When does it light up with his name? If it only glows when something has gone wrong for him and falls silent the week everything is fine, you already have your answer. Love that only calls when it needs something is not love calling. It is need calling, and you are allowed to know the difference. Now, the second sign is quieter still, and it lives in his questions. Listen to where his eyes wander when you talk about the future. Does he ask about your paid-off house, your late husband's pension, your savings, far more than he ever asks about your fears, or what makes you laugh, or what keeps you up at night? Notice what a man is curious about, not your bank statement. He wants to know your words, not your numbers. So you have started counting. You have counted how often he calls when he needs something, the rides, the meals, the small loans. Now I want you to count something far harder. Count the number of times he sat beside you on your worst night when your back ached or the evening felt too long and quiet. That number, that one, here's third, is the third sign. And it is the one that tells the whole truth. That number. The times he actually sat beside you on your worst night when your back was sore and the house was too quiet is where the third sign lives. Because you cook, you clean up his affairs, you sit with him through every cough and every cold night after night, and you do it gladly because that is who you are. But turn it around for a moment. When the bad week is yours, where is he? When your own back is aching and the evening feels, or does it stay quiet on the table? That is the third sign, friend. Care that only flows in one direction is not partnership. It is service. You nurse him through his flu. You carry the soup up the stairs. You remember his pills. And then comes your lonely, aching evening, and the silence answers for him. He is nowhere to be found. Let me say this plainly because it took me too long to learn it myself. Your kindness is not a service anyone is owed. You are not a helper he keeps on a shelf for when he feels poorly. A true partner's care runs both ways. He shows up when you are the one who is tired. He asks how your day was and actually waits for the answer. You are allowed to expect that. You have earned the right to be cared for too, not just to be the one who cares. Let me stop and ask you, friend to friend, how old are you? And which of these signs made you sit up just now? Some of you are 70, some of you are 85, and every one of you has a story sitting behind this. And if this is landing softly on your heart, give the channel a quiet subscribe before we reach the last 2. We walk this road together, and I would love to keep walking it with you. Now, hear me carefully, because I do not want you to take the wrong thing from this. None of this is about becoming hard. It is not about growing suspicious of every kind man who ever brings you a cup of tea. At our age, you have loved enough to know the difference. This is not about closing your heart. It is about finally letting your kindness be met instead of only spent. Because here is where it turns. The 2 signs still to come are the sharpest of them all. The first 3 show you how a man leans on you. The last 2 show you something harder. What he does when the leaning has to stop. What does he do when the money finally stops flowing his way? And what does he do when you calmly and kindly say the word no? That last one, that is the heart of everything. Lean in with me. Watch what happens the moment fairness walks into the room. You bring it up gently. Maybe you say, let us split the grocery bill this time, or let us put our little arrangement down on paper just so we both know where we stand. And suddenly the warmth cools. He changes the subject. He waves it off as if talking money is somehow beneath the love you share. He keeps that money moving in one direction toward him, and he calls it devotion. Here's the quiet truth of that fourth sign. A good man welcomes fairness. He does not flinch from it. A man who truly cares about you wants things to be even because he wants you protected too. He is not afraid of a written agreement or an honor. The one who squirms, who resists anything clear, who wants your generosity but never his own accounting. He is telling you something. Listen to it. And now the fifth sign, the one that matters most of all. Watch what he does when you say no. Not a cruel no, a calm, kind no. You tell him softly that you are tired this week and need to rest. You tell him you cannot lend any more right now. And you watch his face. Does he say, of course? My dear, you take care of yourself. Or does he sulk? Does he go cold and quiet? Does he pile on the guilt until your own peace starts to feel like a crime you committed against him? Because a man who punishes your no was never truly after your yes. Sit with that. Your kindness is not a service anyone is owed, and your no is a full sentence. Now, let me say this plainly so no bitterness ever takes root in your heart. None of this is about all men. They show up, they give as much as they take, they treasure a strong woman. This was never about resentment. It is about your discernment, your quiet knowing, your right to tell the difference. That is all. And for anything real, a decision about your money, your home, your savings. Do not carry it alone and do not hand it to him. Sit down with a trusted professional you choose, someone who answers to you. If even one of these five finally gave a name to something you have felt for years, then trust yourself, my dear. Your knowing was right all along. So hear me now, because this is the heart of everything. You are not a nurse to be scheduled or a wallet to be opened. You are a whole woman with a lifetime of love and labor behind you, and you are worthy of a love that shows up for your heart, not your pension, not your spare. Expect to be treated well and never apologize for expecting it. Picture yourself walking out your own front door into the warm sun, head high, no one scheduling you, no one draining you, a morning coffee that belongs to you, laughter with an old friend that costs you nothing but joy. That is your life now, and you are far stronger than most people will ever be.